Well, it all started like septic turn and all confused, and it's all ending here. I'm at the airport now. Yeah. Wrestlemania 40 in the books. I'm done. Heading back home. And that's that. Airport now. Gonna get on the flight in about 6 hours. Yeah.
It to my dad.
I didn't know you was recording. Do it again. I won't speak. Start it again.
I'm trying to spot my dad if I zoom in.
You know what?
I'm trying to spot my dad if I zoom in.
Or bought some bread.
Literally, I was stood here 9 days ago. Excited, seeing that American flag to go through there. To head towards Philadelphia. And here I am, heading towards Manchester. Blech. Yeah, I'll be going through there next year. Probably some shithole like Minneapolis. Anyway, I'm groggy. Not had, well, I had an hour's sleep. So yeah, back in Dublin now, heading to Manchester. Yep, definitely back in the UK. How can they not even mention to us what's going on? Got back in a rainy Manchester, got all my merch, just buying the tickets then, and the guy was like, "Did you go?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Wow, that's amazing." I was like, "Did you still watch it?" He was like, "Yeah, so jealous." So yeah, and I thought train conductors were grumpy. About to board the train now, back to Preston, catch up with you when I'm home. It's been emotional, guys and girls. And we're home. Well, that was it. WrestleMania 40. Here we are, 3 weeks later. Has the jet lag gone, Tebs?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Jet lag probably took about 4 or 5 days. It was rough, but I thought I'd sleep on the plane back, and I didn't sleep a wink. So I was, I was just wide the whole night. But what a journey back! What a time! It's just been a whirlwind.
Feels like ages ago now. So, like, people now, we're recording this, what, 4 weeks? 4 weeks? How long have we been back? 4 weeks?
Oh yeah, easily. Well, yeah, it's 5th. So I think it was about 4 weeks ago this weekend when WrestleMania was. So it's a month ago. So yeah, we've been back about 3 weeks now.
Feels like we've been back about 3 months or something. But yeah,
and
so
it was
travel. Go on.
No, I'm just saying it was weird when I left you in Philadelphia because I flew back from Washington and you flew back from Philadelphia, but we're still arranging to meet up in the airport the next day to sort his luggage out. So it was kind of like, yep, I've just spent a week and a half with you, but see you tomorrow. Bye. See you in another city. Bye bye.
It was like, that's how the film would end. I thought, you'll know this, obviously doing plug your Movie Chef podcast.
Yeah, everybody listen to the Movie Chef podcast. We're on YouTube, the Movie Chef podcast, Pod Movie Chef, where you can hear lots of interesting things about movies. And you can also, if you go on the Movie Chef podcast and you listen to our last video, which was the Iron Claw review for you wrestling fans, you will have a chance to win this bottle of WrestleMania Prime that's just behind me. So go and find the Movie Chef podcast on YouTube, listen to our Iron Claw review to find out how to win that bottle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, me. I don't think we have any, like, maybe we do have listeners that listen to both shows, but maybe they don't do it. I was about to say, you do not give that fucking bottle to any of your fucking listeners. Anyway, right? So what I was gonna say is,
go on and leave a comment. You'll find out maybe one of your.
I'm gonna comment 5 times, me. You know my address, right? So, I thought the way that like the movie would end, yeah. What's the film where like they're in a train station or an airport? And it just zooms out, or a shopping mall or something, and it just zooms out. That would have been the final scene, us saying bye, and it just going. Do you know what it is?
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
No, go on.
I've got, you might not have seen it, because I don't know if you'll like it. Superbad. Have you seen Superbad?
Yeah. Sorry,
you know where it ends in the shopping mall and they're walking off with the fucking birds?
It's like, if you think of most like 80s films, you know, like all like even Twins, Lethal Weapon, all those kind of, they have the final scene, and then like you say, the camera just drifts up, and then the credits start rolling, and then you sat there going, "Is that it? Is that everything?" And we kind of and then we had our little post-credit scene.
After I'd left you, yeah. So I went straight to the train bit, yeah, right, and I got my phone out, yeah. This is the first time I got my phone out, bang on the thing, and I'm like, weren't doing anything. I go bang again, and then I'm trying to make a bit of noise. So one of these people, they were all like having a little bit of chatter. So I'm going, it's not working. Yeah, they come over, like, oh, you need to queue up. Oh fucking hell, you need to queue up for a fucking ticket. I was like, what? So I had to queue up for a ticket, yeah, and then I missed the train, so I had to wait for another hour.
Fuck's
I
sake.
know.
In Philadelphia train station.
Yeah, Philadelphia train station. And then, I believe it or not, so I think you'll have seen this on the vlog anyway. So I sat on the airport. I think I just went straight to the airport. I think I got to the airport about 2 and I flew about 9. And I'm not joking you. I had a great time on the airport. I was checking the football scores. North End beat Huddersfield 4-1. Journalist says North End beat Huddersfield 4-1 times. Are you ready for this? Yeah. Right. So I'm sat there buzzing. We were like 2 points off the playoffs. Since then, we lost 5 games in a row. Right. And our last goal was when I was sat on Philadelphia Airport. We've not scored since.
Fuck's sake.
That was the last goal. That's how long ago since we scored. So, yeah, so sat on there and then, just sat there for ages. And obviously flew across. We bumped into it. We didn't bump it. I sat Dublin Airport. Oh, my God, it was scruffy. I was sat, you know my thoughts on Germans. I love them. Right, we're sat on Dublin Airport, and there's a flight next to me, I think, going to Hamburg. And I just thought, you fucking ignorant bastards. I hope we fucking beat you in the Euros, yeah? And they're all sat there. So then I got on my flight to Dublin. And this guy, yeah? So for everyone listening, so we're in there. There's like people rushing up on the plane. The Ryanair planes, was it Ryanair? Dead small, yeah? This old guy, like they're all rushing up to help him and stuff. They announce when we land, right, can people not leave the plane? There's been an emergency. I'm looking at this guy 5 rows down. I'm thinking, oh no, he's dead. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking the worst. I'm messaging you. You were waiting for me at the departure line. The flight itself got delayed about 45 minutes or something. They didn't even tell us. I was fuming. I think I've been messaging you, weren't I?
Yeah, you were happy.
So then I'm sat there. So we get on they let us leave. They get us on the bus, right? So we're like, everyone on this bus are like trying to get to connecting flights and stuff. At this point, I was at Manchester anyway, so I was fine. I was getting a bit annoyed because I wanted to get to you. And so we're like, turns out next thing, this old guy, he walks down the stairs into his wheelchair that's waiting from the bottom of the stairs, and they push him into the ambulance and off he pops. And everyone's like, but the reason the bus was waiting because he was on row 4 or something, and they didn't let the 3 rows that were at the other side of him off, so we were waiting for them. So this ignorant old bastard who probably had a sore throat, if he's dead, I'm going to feel terrible.
Yeah, you're going to feel awful.
He gets in his ambulance, and then that's it. So yeah, and then I meet you, and yeah, that was it. I got the train back, Tebs, to Preston, as you've seen, right? So I had my WrestleMania hoodie on, I think. Yeah, I did. I had my WrestleMania. Yeah. I must have done.
And this guy at the train station, he looks dead miserable. He's like handing out tickets to get you through the barriers at Manchester Airport. Yeah, you're back in reality on the train station. And he's like, "Can you stand behind the line, please?" To the lad in front of me, and I was like, "Fucking hell, right?" And he's just miserable, barely spoke. I'm stood there for ages, and I get there. He went, "Did you go?" And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Did you go?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah." He's like, "Oh, I'm so jealous. Oh, I bet it was a man." I'm thinking, I've just been sat thinking, you miserable bastard for ages, yeah. And then he was like asking me about it. There's like big queue behind. He's asking me questions. He's like, "Oh, I stayed up to watch it and stuff." And I was like, "Oh, that was great." But yeah.
Well, I got to Washington and I was wandering around, checked in. Iceland Air, outstanding. I got there like an hour before check-in or something. And I went up to desk. I said, "Is there any way I can just leave this bag?" And woman behind counter, she's just like, "Yep, no problem. Just check it in. Flight's half empty." I'm like, "Get in." So finally went through security in Washington, had me tea, had something to eat, got me duty free, did all that jazz. Literally, they were calling out rows. Now I'd booked one of the front row seats because I wanted the extra leg room coming back. I wanted to be able to stretch my legs out, go to sleep, And in like the American way where they go, "Can everybody from rows 40 onwards please come forward?" And they're calling all these people. And I'm the last one sitting there. I'm thinking, am I going to have a row to myself? This is brilliant. Got on the plane, 3 seats either side. Two of the seats, there were a couple there, and there were my seat next to the window. So there were three of us all cramped up one side and three empty seats. And I just looked at her, I just went, "Look, I'm not going to be rude here. I'm not going to do the British thing, but I'm going to sit over here on my own. You'll have more room. You don't want to be sat next to me. I don't want to sit there. I'm going to move, okay?" And she's just like, "Oh, thank you so much. I didn't know how to tell you." I'm like, "Get in." But then the rest of the flight, there were people, literally, they were lifting the armrest up on all the seats and laying out. Everybody had a bed to sleep on coming back,
As if.
except me, because I'd booked the front seat. But you get your TV on the
Yeah.
Atlantic flights. On the front seat, because you're that far away from the seat in front of you, the seat comes out the armrest, so you can't lift the armrest up. So I'd
So you
paid
mean
to
the
be extra
screen?
comfortable. Yeah,
Right.
so I had the screen, but I'd paid to have the extra leg room, and I thought I was being clever. If I'd have just taken a normal seat, I'd have just been able to lay down on a bed basically and sleep
So
the
the
whole way
screen
back.
comes out of the armrest.
Yeah, yeah, it lifts up out the
Yeah, yeah.
armrest
I've had
on like a
that.
thing and pulls in front. So
I can't remember if I had. Go on.
I got to Reykjavik and I'm sat in Reykjavik and I hadn't slept a wink. It's like 5:30 in the morning, and there was like a school trip lined up to get on my flight back, and I'm like, "Oh fuck me." Um, but I did end up sat next to somebody coming back from Reykjavik to um, Manchester who'd just been to New York, and she fucking hated it. She hated
Did she?
the last 4 days. She just like, "I'm never going back to that shit all. I'm never going back."
What about New York?
Yeah, yeah, she went back to New York. She's like, "Yeah, they are talking about her kids." I think she was saying that. To be honest, I'd just had an entire night of sleep deprivation. I was jet lagged. I didn't know it was, but she wasn't too glowing about the place. Let's put it that way. But
The entire flight. Sorry to cut you off. The entire
yeah,
flight
yeah,
of
go
mine.
on.
Because obviously you flew from Washington. They
Yeah,
were
yeah,
just wrestling fans. Every single person on the flight. So like all the flight attendants were like asking about it and stuff like that. It was just full of merch. It felt like that. It actually that moment. I remember being sat on that platform. It was really hot, yeah. And I just
yeah,
remember
yeah.
thinking, "Oh, this is actually the end here," because they were all wrestling fans getting on, yeah. And I obviously didn't pay for a good seat, like even to be seated, so I just got it assigned. I was the same as you. I was next to the fire exit. And she's like, "You've got the best seat on the plane here. An extra legroom seat. We
Yeah.
aren't even paying for it." There were nobody sat next to me, like you said. It was fucking like it was a good flight on, to be fair.
Well, when I were going through,
What were you saying? Sorry, I cut you off. I cut you off, didn't I? Go on. What were
no,
you
no, I'm
about to
just
say?
saying. So when I would got before that, when I was going through Washington, so it was quiet, and they were putting my bag through X-ray machine, and this guy was searching me, and he looks at the t-shirt. It's like, "Oh, my boy Damian Priest won." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," and he goes, "He comes from Puerto Rico. He's one of my boys." He goes, "We're all so happy." And this guy was telling me how him and his mates and his family were rooting for Damian Priest because he's from Puerto Rico. And it's just the
Racist
joy in his
bastards.
eyes. Oh yeah, absolutely. You won't be cheering on an English guy against an American, would you? So,
No, fuck William Regal, prick.
but there were, that's why I thought I love wrestling, because this guy who doesn't normally watch wrestling, but he's watched Damian Priest
Right.
go and win the title at Wrestlemania. So I thought that was brilliant. The next guy really shit me up. because something happened where basically I had some potpourri in my bag, and he commented about how nice the potpourri smelled. And I was kind of worried that I was going to be told I wasn't allowed to have had potpourri in my bag, but it was very understanding. So thank you, whatever your name was, for not arresting me for my potpourri.
Oh,
Um,
I got it dropped. It dropped.
but yeah, got back to Manchester. My dad and my best mate and my stepmom picked me up, and we went for a Toby Carvery. So I'm sat over this Toby Carvery, absolutely hanging. Coffee, Red Bull. I was getting it, necking it all down me, but we went for something to eat, and I just forced myself to stay awake till about 10 that night. I managed it, but really didn't catch up properly for about 4 days afterwards. Just trying to get back in. You were up at like 3 a.m. every night, weren't you, when we got back?
Oh, Tebs, I had a nightmare. I fell asleep straight away. I'd walked through Preston Town Centre with my case, dead, no sleep for about an hour sleep in 24 hours. I've got people trying to sell me stuff, 2 people, and normally I'd be like, I'm all right, mate. I was just like, no. Do you know what I mean? I've got a suit. I had a suitcase. You said how many bags that I
Yeah,
had.
yeah, yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
trying to stop me to sell me energy. I just thought he'd taken the piss. So yeah, I got back, fell asleep. It took me, this is the longest it took me. I'd say it took me about 9 days to get back in, like proper. It was tough.
It was a
Like
busy 12 days,
work and
though.
stuff.
Well, you were there 10. It's a busy fortnight. You know, it's the energy expunge as well. It's the, it's late nights, early mornings, not sleeping in your own bed, and it's the jet lag, and it's the coming down off of it all. You've just had
Yeah.
4 days of WrestleMania, and then you get back, and you're just like,
Have you watched it back?
yeah. Well, I
Have
watched
you?
I watched key matches back through, but to be honest, I was just looking for certain bits and certain moments. I've watched the 2 main events and the world champion match all the way through.
I've not watched
That
the first night's main event back. I've read a lot of reviews saying it wasn't that good. We loved it in the building. Was it better
yeah, yeah.
in the
Uh,
building than TV, or was it the same?
um, it was all right. It wasn't a great wrestling match, but
Right.
for what it did, it set up night two, and I think that did it fantastic. But to watch, if you go and watch the build-up package from everything from New Year's Day onwards, what that WWE do great, and then you watch night one main event, you watch night two Seth versus Drew, and you watch night two main event. You watch all that as one complete thing, and that is a story. Yeah. And then we're coming home, and you're actually telling me that I've got to come and finish the story to go and see Cody versus Rock next year.
Ah,
You'd
yeah, of
sign me
course
up
you
to
do. Of
next year
course you
before we
do.
came back.
And next year, rest in peace, Minnesota, which we'll get to in a minute. But
Yeah,
Cody Roman. So the actual. Obviously, in the arena, I enjoyed it, but I still maintain this, and it just frustrated me even more. So the match, I'd say it was better than I thought it was. Yeah, the moments were obviously great when we was there, but just one. I genuinely think if they'd have had that 3 minutes, 5 minutes of just cut right, everything's gone now. Let's bring all the crowd down and let's have them raise them up. Now, no matter how amazing the moments were, yeah, I have watched this back and I feel like I've been proven right. In 10 years' time, yeah, nobody's going to look back and say, if you think of the biggest pops of the last 10 years, we'll go with, say, Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. I don't know, other ones, yeah. The pop of Cody winning the title wasn't
yeah.
what it should have been now. And I feel like that everything else was great, yeah. Fucking the Marvel superheroes and the Avengers and stuff. Yeah, that was excellent. Well done. Yeah. But I don't think they nailed the moment of him winning the title. Samantha Irvin did a great job of making up for that after it. But I just feel like it was just like they hit the crossroads 3. And I'm telling you, I watched it back about 8 times. The crowd actually thought, I think, Roman might kick out of this.
Yeah.
So when he won, it was like, oh, it was like a delayed second reaction. They just missed it. We needed 5 more minutes and it would have been perfect. Instead, it was just great. But
See, again, for all Deadpool fans out there, I should have worn my white pants to WrestleMania because I've watched the video back of me filming that last match, and I just fucking loved it. I love that. Now, I get where you're coming from. I really do. I think the pop wasn't that big because I think, like you said, people were expecting it to go on. I think what you've just had with those, what was it, 4, 5 run-ins, 6 solo. You had Solo, Jimmy, Jay, Cena, Rock, Taker. So you had 6
Seth.
run-ins. Seth, 7, and then you get to the point where that moment I don't think was played up enough. Where Seth's at one side of the ring, Cody's at the other, and Roman's in the middle with the chair. and he has to decide whether he wants revenge on Seth for all those years ago, or he wants to focus on Cody and win his title. And he chose Seth. He took on Seth. Then I think that moment from where Cody got the upper hand over Roman because of that choice Roman made, he should have sort of. It kind of went on that. It was sort of Roman should have gone for Seth, turned around, crossroads 1, 2, 3, or like you said, he should have got another 5 minutes. But it was just that kind of, and I think the fans were either expecting him to kick out, they're expecting another run in. It was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know
Tevs,
where it
even
was,
I
but
would have said, maybe even what you've just said made me think. So, you know, like Rollins came in with the chair, it was all continuous, weren't it? Maybe if you'd have had the 5 minutes of wrestling, finisher kickouts, yeah,
Mhm.
and going mental with all the finisher kickouts, and then Seth comes into the ring and they do that spot. I just feel like everyone was that excited from The Rock and Undertaker and stuff. Like the biggest pop, the thing that I've rewound back and watched more than anything is The Rock stood there over Cena and the dong. That's the
Yep.
moment of the match,
Yep.
not Cody winning the title.
And do you know why it was so great? Because a few weeks before they'd said Cena and Taker were lined. I think it was Meltzer saying Cena and Taker are lined up for something during WrestleMania, and then it kind of got forgotten about because everyone started expecting Austin, and everyone was
Yeah.
expecting Austin. Even people around us were going Stone Cold, Steve, Stone Cold, and then the dong, that wasn't expected. But then when Cody won, I think everybody kind of expected it. It wasn't a
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything in this weekend where people were I don't think people genuinely, truly, apart from you, believe Roman was going to walk away with that
No,
title.
but after night one, I was like, yeah, Cody's won. Because
Yeah,
Rock and Roll, they were never going to win both nights. So that's why I said in all the build-up
yeah,
shows, have Cody win the first night. And I still think they should have done that. Made it too obvious that he wasn't.
yeah. So, but everybody kind of knew. I think it was just that kind of the pop was finally, it was right. That's it. This is the cheer we've been waiting for. But no, unbelievable, and pisses all over 35.
Yeah, definitely. It
WrestleMania
builds us up
35.
for, like you said, so it builds us up for next year. Great, I think. You know what I mean? Like I
Mm.
feel like this is almost part one. Next year we're gonna get. It's either going to be Rock v Roman or Cody versus right. I can't believe I'm actually in a world where a part of me is like, do you know what? I'd probably like to see Cody v The Rock. But at the
Me
same
too.
time, I mean, I was thinking maybe you don't know what's going to happen though. Is Cody might get turned on throughout the year, which I think will happen at
Mm-hmm.
some point, especially if he's just bang beating people with one crossroads, which we'll get to. But yeah, so anyway, before we talk about Vegas, let's put a bow on Philadelphia. Overall thoughts on the city?
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Beautiful city, great size, all flat for getting around, plenty to see, plenty to do. The people were so mostly
yeah,
friendly. It was amazing. The locality of it, the fact I could not believe we just took a tube for 5 stops and you're at an NFL stadium, a baseball stadium, a basketball arena, and
yeah.
everything. The convenience of it all. It just blew my mind.
It was like
Um,
7 or 8 minutes on that little tube, weren't it? So it was
yeah,
it was like 7 to 8 minutes one way to get to the stadium, or 5 minutes the other way to get to where everything was.
we
Just
had
in
a
a
great
straight
spot.
line. It was
Yeah, we had a
brilliant.
great spot. A quick shout out for Washington as well. I did go during a busy period and it was the capital city, so I think it was all touristy stuff. But Washington as well is a fantastic city. I would absolutely recommend anybody go there for a few days. But Philadelphia surpassed my expectations.
What
Wonderful.
was a better city out of the two? Curious.
Um, Philly probably.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, but I didn't see that much of Washington. I only saw sort of the mall and a few streets around. Um, if I think as a WrestleMania city, Philly's much better than Washington. Absolutely. Washington's more business and politics and the bars are, old Irish bars and things. It's more, cosmopolitan, but Philly seems yeah, Philly was great.
Yeah, it's a
The
great
town hall
place.
in the middle, just anywhere you look, I'm struggling for my bearings. Where's the town hall? Where's the statue of the guy on top of it? It's just wonderful. The Rocky Steps were a great moment, being a movie fan and just a fan of anything.
Hey, I was
Um,
watching the 118 advert came up and Rocky and Sylvester Stallone's running up the steps, and I was sat there. I was like, I've been there.
I've been up those stairs. So, Coin, you've got to admit there is some touristy stuff that is worth doing.
Well, no, I actually enjoyed that. Hey, we've not even told the listeners, have we? We went back on the last day to the Rocky Steps because we got an Uber all the way, right? All the way to the Rocky Steps. Tell them what happened, Tebs.
I went back. What did I go for? It was a
You
Rocky
wanted one of
statue.
them.
I just wanted a Rocky statue. Got there, shut. It's like you're a tourist gift shop. Why are you shut? I just could not comprehend it. So we got all those bags out of the Uber on the dual carriageway roundabout, set them down, turned around. Uber's driving away. It's fucking shut down, you know. So then it's like, what we'll do? Let's get another Uber. Let's just go to the train station.
Then what did we find at the train station?
Rocky statue. I think is it a Rocky statue with a pencil sharpener in it? It's just like just in case for that artist in your life that needs to sharpen pencils but love Rocky at the same time. I'm just trying to think of my moments from Philly because it was just it probably outside. Well, I'm going to say outside of wrestling, going to the Philadelphia ECW arena for the WrestleCon show, but that's still wrestling.
That was good.
But the WrestleCon show was a great night and met a couple of, met some decent people there and just the experience of it all. But it was just, I can't wait for next year. I go
watching,
thinking, no, it's going to be once every 5 years, once every couple of years. And as soon as you're on the plane home, you're like, I'm going next year.
You just got to do it, especially while WWE's actually passable. Do you know what I mean? Then it's passable at the moment. So
when The Rock came out on Raw, when we were there, and he's saying to Cody, I'm going away for a while, but we've got unfinished business. That for me is The Rock swinging his dick around saying, WrestleMania next year is The Rock versus Cody. That's long-term storytelling, bitch. So that's The Rock getting his foot in the door and saying, let's not have any of this. Because I know there were a lot of, there's rumors that there were a lot of infighting with WWE, that there were some people pushing for Rock Roman, but people were still pushing for Cody Roman behind The Rock's back, and all those signs that were getting handed out to people in Raw leading up to it.
Yeah.
We want Cody. They were saying those were done by certain executives that wanted to, So I think there's an awful lot of ego in play. But if next year we get, if we got next year's WrestleMania, Seth versus Punk and Cody versus Rock as main events.
See, I think they might have. I'm not sure if they can drag out Seth v. Punk that long. I think by next year, I could genuinely see Rock Roman and Punk versus Cody or something. But anyway, we'll get into the predictions. I'm sure we've got plenty of shows for that. But yeah, what I wanted to allude for. Do you remember that documentary that they kept saying they was going to release about? It never got released, I don't think.
Never did. No, I've never seen it.
There's some. It made me think about what you said, like what you were just saying, that maybe something was. But yeah, it was overall. I think we had a great. So like I've said, overall, maybe I tell you what the problem was. I feel like WWE made it so that they thought we had 2 nights. They did have a lot of filler matches, but the main event stuff was main event stuff. Like we got The Rock. We was at the WrestleMania where The Rock came back and wrestled. We got the first final boss WrestleMania. That character for me. He didn't save WrestleMania, but if it had just been Cody v. Roman, Cody wins, blah, 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 yay. Yeah. This just made it great, made it better. I felt like it was a more newsworthy WrestleMania than ones that have gone by in recent years. Yeah. So I'm really glad that we went. As I said, for me to not complain about American people, no offense, or like the city itself. Like I like Philadelphia and I like the Philadelphia people. I don't have anything bad to say, which is fucking mad. I have nothing to complain about. Yeah, so that was nice. And yeah, that's it. So Philadelphia, great place to go. If there ever was a WrestleMania there again in 20, 30 years, if I'm still here, I would go.
Not according to Nick Khan. I mean, unless global warming kicks in, but Nick Khan basically said East Coast open air stadiums in early April. Don't expect it to happen again. So yeah, sorry, Philly.
I think it's the right decision. I think, as much as I like to say, it was too cold, weren't it? People are flying all over the world. Like, how many British accents did we notice on this trip? A lot, didn't we? There's a lot of Brits that go. I mean, I will say, out of the other WrestleManias, I think more people than ever were actually from Philadelphia. Yeah, but like in the queue, we're talking to people from Australia. Do you know what I mean? Who know nothing about football? People from Like, I'm not joking.
Plenty
You
of
know what I mean? Like,
Irish.
they were nice then. They were nice then, to be fair,
Seen
weren't they?
plenty of Irish fans. Yeah, those guys are cool. Australians, quite a few different Australians there. But yeah, a lot of it was people from Philadelphia. It's a big wrestling town. And I think that's great, and it's always good that, it's a hometown crowd is filling stadiums, but it was too cold.
Yeah.
WWE is a family product. And if you're watching families leave half an hour before the end of the show because it's too cold for the kids, not only is it looking bad on camera with loads of people leaving early, partly it's your customers that are not happy with your product, whatever about the product it is. But you're also probably losing $2,000 or $3,000 worth of extra sales walking out the door for the last hour. So they don't want it. They want it hot where people are buying drinks. They want it there so the stadium, you can light a stadium up. We'll talk about other shows, PLEs coming up in a minute, where you can light the crowd up because it's full and it looks great and it looks amazing. So I think they'll be doing either closed air stadiums from now on or
Yeah.
more
It's the best
central
way for
Dallas,
if
things
we're
like that.
going on holiday, we want it to. I mean, it was nice as a city. We did say, I'm just saying, we want it to be warm. We did say actually, it's probably better. It wasn't warm, but like, I don't know. I'd sooner WrestleMania be in Vegas, New Orleans, places. Do you know what I mean? Let's just alternate between Vegas and New Orleans every year.
I get where you're coming from. And you know what? Thinking on Vegas now, it'll be a totally different holiday. It's not a let's run around and try and see as much. It is a let's party. And it's going to be a different WrestleMania. They've absolutely made, let's talk about it. They've absolutely made the right choice.
I just wanted to let's finish off
Sorry, go on.
Philadelphia. So basically, I wanted to pose this question to you before we got into Vegas.
Right.
Does this mean they won't do a WrestleMania in New York again? Or does this mean they're gonna fucking hire MSG and charge about $2,000 for nosebleed seats whenever they do go back to New York? That's what I was thinking. But yeah, Philadelphia, great city. But do you think they'll go back to New York? They will at some point, probably. But it's just, do you not think
they will? I think they would for a SummerSlam. I think you can be very clever like that. And I'm going to talk to you about what I think. In fact, let's talk on the Backlash episode about what I think about where they're going to be doing PLEs from now on.
Yeah, right. So that's it. Philadelphia WrestleMania for the vlog. I should say thanks to everybody that's watched. We had decent numbers really for it. So next year's vlog will be interesting in Vegas. So yeah, hit the subscribe button. And yeah, that was it. WrestleMania 4. It's done, Tebs. All these prediction shows and everything. Did it meet the hype for you? Show me your tattoo.
So I was planning on having this done while I was at WrestleMania, but I don't know if you can just see
there
that.
You
just
go.
There. So
yeah, look at
WWE,
that.
Philadelphia, and it was my 40th birthday present for me being there for WrestleMania XL 40. So yep, that's added to the scrapbook arm that is building its way. I've already found, like I told you, I've already found $10 tattoos in a certain city. So
yeah, so that was it. Philadelphia done. WrestleMania 40 done, and we're going to finish by talking about the announcement last night. WrestleMania 41. Get your coats on, boys, because we are going to Minneapolis. No, we're not. We are going to Viva Las Vegas. Tebs, it's happening.
I know. I'm really excited. I've always... Vegas is bucket list for me. There are probably two places in this world that I always think I'd never be able to get to. I'd never be in a position to go. Las Vegas and Tokyo. This is up there. This is like, I'm up for this.
10 years on from when I went.
10 years.
It was 10 years it'll have been since I went after Mania 31, obviously.
So I met a guy called Pancho in a hot dog place in Washington, and he owns a Mexican in Minneapolis, a Mexican restaurant, Pancho's. If you're in Minneapolis, go to Pancho's, tacos, and something or other. Hi, Pancho. And he was telling me at the time, so this is 4 weeks ago, it is common knowledge in Minneapolis that WrestleMania is there next year. People were just talking about it. The city's bid for it. Nobody else is in for it. It's going to be in Minneapolis. Everyone's excited about it, and everyone's ready for it. And I took that as it's happening. Sorry, Pancho.
Yeah, I know. I said to you, like, going back to all our previous episodes, I feel like every year, all I hear is, they're running US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, and it never, ever happens. I mean, that woman did the video saying they were getting a big sporting event, but it just never seems to happen. I think the seal of it was. I just be honest with you, I just think Nick Khan thought, fuck this. I'm not fucking sitting here for the week in 14, 15 degrees temperature. Let's go. But it's miles better in Vegas. I mean, it's going to be brilliant. Tebs, what hotel did we book last night? Literally about half an hour after they announced the where it was going to be.
Yep, we're staying at Planet Hollywood. I think we can pretty much hear the planes going overhead. They're taking off, but we are that close. We're on the strip, outside the MGM, outside the Bellagio. It's perfect, man.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
10 nights. Is that too long for Vegas? I'm hearing. But hey, I said to you, I can't wait to go to Sam's Town, where I've watched so many ROH and TNA pay-per-views. I don't think that'll be the bucket list for most people who are going to Vegas to go to Sam's Town. Hey, I can't wait. But yeah, it's going to be great. Allegiant Stadium, T-Mobile Arena. I was thinking maybe they might do like something at the I tell you what, AEW are running obviously Double or Nothing in Vegas. It sort of killed that. Like Vegas has been their city recently, hasn't it?
Yeah, this is. I mean, you're going to have. I'm just looking to see how far Allegiant is away. We could walk to WrestleMania from where our hotel is.
It's about 1.5 miles, is it? 2 miles?
Something like that, yeah. So, yeah, this is a big fuck you to AEW. I don't think it was done on purpose. What I think this is this is going to be this is a TKO WrestleMania. So they had Philadelphia all signed up. TKO have come in and said, we don't do Minneapolis in the spring, in the snow. We're going to do Vegas. We're going to do The Rock. We're going to have UFC crossovers. I won't be surprised if there's a UFC event in the same weekend. This is a TKO weekend, and you can't do it anywhere else other than Vegas. You can't.
Yeah, it's the perfect spot.
They're literally, you can hear them greasing the oil machine at the minute to just keep printing money, because it is going to be mental.
Yeah, so that is it. WrestleMania 41, we've got it booked, so we will be there. We will give you a 10-day vlog next year. Next time we'll see you, we'll do a video on the day of the ticket release, so then you know about the experience for people of like trying to get tickets for WrestleMania. Because basically that's what it is. This, although for us personally, it's like good to have like videos of all our memories from there. Obviously, I want viewers for the channel, but at the same time, especially if you come in from out of the States, even if you come from in it can be daunting the thought of, oh, WrestleMania, what do I do? So basically you can watch our vlog, you can see how to do it, and then it's just a tool basically for people if they want to know, do you know what I mean, how to do it, what not to do, what to do, learn from our mistakes, know the best places to get tattoos. That guy's still sat there in Philadelphia waiting for you to show up.
He's still waiting for me. Yeah, sorry, Eddie.
But yeah,
can't wait.
Yeah, Tez, I'm gonna let you finish the video. WrestleMania 40 in the books. We did it. We went all that way. Final thoughts. I'm done saying it. Pass it over to you because I know it was a big, big trip, meaningful for you. So finish us off.
It was, yeah. Like I say, my 40th birthday. It was, and I think I've mentioned. I talk about this. I think I might have talked about this on his other podcast. I haven't mentioned it on this one, but this trip for me was the end of a long road. And I know you take the piss with Marvel and Avengers and things, but for a WrestleMania like that, which is the culmination of a 6-month, year-long, in Roman's case, 5-year-long story, for it to be so memorable, for the trip to be so smooth, for the great location, for the great company, it is up there with one of the best experiences I've had outside this country. Second, but yeah, unbelievable. Thank you, because I wouldn't have done half the shit I'd have done over there without you. So thank you.
Thanks. I wouldn't have done anything either. I'd have had nobody to complain to.
Oh, you would. You'd have found someone. You'd have found someone.